Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Timon of Athens, and we get to hear from Alcibiades today in Act 3, Scene 5. But we just finished up with Act 3, Scene 3 yesterday, so we gotta do a little bit of catch up here. So Timon is a very generous man, but he's given away more than he has, and his creditors are now calling for their payments to come due, because he's also missed his due date several times in the past. So Timon sent 3 of his servants to 3 of his friends to try to get some help, to try to get loans from them to cover his present debts. And all 3 of those friends and the senators all refused to help him. And by the end of Act 3, Scene 3, we know that nobody is coming to his aid, but all of his servants are mad at all of his friends for not coming to his aid. So Act 3, Scene 4, the servants of the people to whom Timon owes money all show up at Timon's house again. They're like, "You're here to collect money? Yeah, you too. How much do you need to get?" That sort of thing. And they're aware of the fact that Timon doesn't have much, but they have to do what their bosses say and go try to collect some money. But then Flaminius comes in, presumably coming back from his visit to Lucullus, and he's doing sort of like a "you don't see me, you don't see me," and they're like, "Tell your boss that he owes us money." He's like, he's staying in, no, and he goes inside. And then Servilius comes back, and again they're like, "Tell your boss that we need our money." And Servilius is like, "He's sick, he's just staying in his chamber, he's not coming out right now." And they're like, "Yeah, he's sick, we buy that." And then Timon eventually comes out in a rage, and he's like, "What, you're here to collect. You that have taken everything from me are here to collect." And he flies off the handle for a minute, and then he goes back inside, and the servants that came to get money for their masters realize they're not going to get anything from him, so they all leave. But then Timon and Flavius come back outside, and Timon is like, "You know what? I want you to go back to Lucullus and Lucius and Sempronius and invite them all over to dinner again, because if they want to take stuff from me and never pay me back, have them come over for one more dinner." And Flavius is like, "But we don't have anything to feed them. We don't have any money to throw a dinner." And Timon is like, "Don't even worry about that. I got that. You just make sure that they get here for this dinner that I'm sure that they'll be happy to eat." And that's at the end of Act 3, Scene 4. So Timon's optimism at this point is waning because nobody is coming to his aid. And these people that are like, they're running around wearing the gifts, wearing the jewels that he has given them, but then still asking for him to pay them back. So he's at one point he says something about like, 1,000 drops of my blood will be able to pay back this debt, so just go ahead and take it. But of course they don't cut him up at this point. Anyway, that's the end of Act 3, Scene 4. Timon is less optimistic, but inviting everybody else back over for dinner. Act 3, Scene 5, we go to like the subplot area, and we get to see Alcibiades, who we hear from today, is talking to a group of senators, because one of Alcibiades is like a military captain, and one of his soldiers apparently killed somebody. So Alcibiades is there like at his trial, and the senators are like, "Yeah, he needs to die for what he did. We sentence him." And Alcibiades is like, "Wait, just really?" And they're like, yeah, what's your point?" And Alcibiades says, "I am an humble suitor to your virtues. For pity is the virtue of the law, and none but tyrants use it cruelly. It pleases time and fortune to lie heavy upon a friend of mine, who in hot blood hath stepped into the law, which is past depth to those that without heed do plunge into it. He is a man, setting his fate aside, of comely virtues. Nor did he soil the fact with cowardice and honor in him which buys out his fault, but with a noble fury and fair spirit, seeing his reputation touched to death, he did oppose his foe, and with such sober and unnoted passion, he did behoove his anger ere 'twas spent, as if he had but proved an argument." So he's standing up for his soldier in this. He's like, I'm coming here to humbly ask you. on his behalf. He's a good man. Like, aside from this one thing that he did, it was like a hot-blooded crime of passion that he killed somebody, and he seemed to like almost instantly recognize that he had done something wrong. So he didn't like fly off the handle and run away or try to kill anybody else, anything like that. He owns the fact that he did this, and he has been a good soldier and a virtuous man up until now. So he's pleading for some leniency in this respect, it being like a first offense and all that kind of a thing. And we will hear from the senators tomorrow in terms of how they take this plea, whether or not they actually listen to it. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.